So check this out. You're carrying around a supercomputer that's more powerful than anything we've ever built. It's sitting right between your ears, weighs about 3 pounds, and it's running the show for your entire life. I'm talking, of course, about your brain. This thing is an absolute marvel of engineering. A squishy, wrinkly masterpiece that allows you to do everything from breathing and walking to solving complex physics problems or composing a symphony. We've sent rovers to Mars and peered into the deepest corners of the universe. But the truth is, we're still just scratching the surface of understanding this incredible organ. It's a universe of its own, packed with mysteries and mind-bending abilities. And that's what we're diving into today. We're going on a journey inside your own head to uncover some of the most insane, counterintuitive, and downright unbelievable facts about the human brain. We're going to put some of these ideas to the test with a few fun little experiments you can try right now. I've spent weeks digging through neuroscience journals and talking to experts to pull together a list that will genuinely make you see your own mind in a completely new light. This isn't just a list of trivia, it's a peek under the hood of what makes you, well. So get ready, because we're about to explore 10 facts about your brain that will leave you absolutely speechless. We'll look at how it uses energy, how it remembers things, and even how it generates its own electricity. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new appreciation for the biological supercomputer you carry around every single day. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, let's talk about power consumption. Imagine your body is like a big, bustling city. You've got different districts, your heart, your lungs, your muscles, all doing their jobs and using up energy. Now, the brain is like the city's main command center. But here's the crazy part. Even though your brain only makes up about 2% of your total body weight, it greedily hogs a whopping 20% of all the oxygen and calories you consume. That is an absolutely insane energy budget for such a small part of your body. It's working tirelessly, even when you think you're just vegging out on the couch. Think about that for a second. For every 5 breaths you take, one of them is going directly to power your brain. For every 5 bites of food you eat, one of them is fueling your thoughts. It's constantly processing sensory information, managing your bodily functions, and keeping your consciousness running. It's the most energy-expensive organ you have by far. That's like using an entire phone battery just to scroll Instagram for an hour. It's just an incredibly inefficient, yet powerful piece of biological hardware. Okay, this next one might mess with your head a little bit. Think about your favorite memory. Maybe it's a childhood birthday, your graduation day, or that amazing vacation you took. You can probably play it back in your mind like a movie, right? Well, I've got some news for you. Your brain isn't a video camera. It doesn't just record events and play them back perfectly. Every single time you recall a memory, your brain isn't replaying it. It's rebuilding the memory from scratch, using bits and pieces of information stored across different parts of your brain. This process is incredibly susceptible to influence. Your current mood, new information you've learned since the event, or even just the suggestion of someone else can subtly alter the memory each time you access it. It's like rebuilding a Lego castle from memory. You might get the main structure right, but some of the smaller details will change every single time. This is why eyewitness testimonies can be so unreliable in court. Your brain is essentially telling you a story about the past, a story that gets a tiny rewrite with every telling. So your most cherished memory? It may not have happened exactly that way. We've talked about how much energy your brain, but did you know it also its own power? Your brain is an electrochemical machine. Your neurons communicate with each other using tiny electrical signals that zip around at incredible speeds. All of this constant electrical activity adds up. If you could somehow harness all the electrical power being generated by your brain at any given moment, you would have about 20 watts of electricity. That's not enough to power your house, obviously, but it's a significant amount of juice. To put that into perspective, 20 watts is more than enough to power a small, dim LED light bulb. So, quite literally, you have a light bulb's worth of power fizzing around inside your skull right now, just by thinking, breathing, and existing. The next time someone has a bright idea in a cartoon and a light bulb appears over their head, you can remember that it's not entirely fiction. Your brain is a tiny, self-contained biological power station constantly running inside your head. Now that's what we call bright ideas. You might think that when you finally crash into bed after a long day, your brain gets to take a break too. You close your eyes, drift off, and everything just powers down for a nice 8-hour rest. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, For parts of the night, your brain is even more active than it is when you're awake and going about your day. During the REM, or rapid eye movement stage of sleep, which is when you have your most vivid dreams, your brain activity goes into overdrive. Brain scans of sleeping people show these incredible bursts of activity in various regions. While you're dreaming, your brain is busy consolidating memories, deciding what information from the day is important enough to keep and what can be tossed out. It's also doing crucial maintenance, like cleaning out toxic waste products that build up during your waking hours. It's honestly like a city's cleanup crew and construction workers all coming out to do their most important jobs while the rest of the city sleeps. So, your brain might be working overtime while you dream. Let's talk numbers, because the scale of the brain is just staggering. We often hear that the brain is complex, but it's hard to truly grasp what that means until you look at the raw components. The average adult human brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. That's 86 followed by 9 zeros. Each one of these neurons is a tiny processing unit, capable of forming connections with thousands of other neurons. The number of potential connections, or synapses, is in the trillions. It's a network of complexity that honestly dwarfs any computer network we've ever created. To try and wrap your head around that number, let's look to the sky for a second. On a clear, dark night, far away from city lights, you might be able to see a few thousand stars with your naked eye. The entire Milky Way galaxy, our cosmic home, is estimated to contain between 100 and 400 billion stars. So the number of neurons packed inside your skull is in the same ballpark as the number of stars in our entire galaxy. You are literally carrying a galaxy's worth of processing power inside your head. That's more stars than you can see in the night sky. We live in a world that moves incredibly fast, and our brains have to keep up. How fast can your brain actually process what it sees? Well, scientists at MIT conducted a study to find out, and the results are just mind-boggling. They found that the human brain can process an entire image that the eye sees in as little as 13 milliseconds. Let me say that again, 13 milliseconds. That is an astonishingly short amount of time. It's a fraction of the time it takes for you to even realize you've seen something. For comparison, a single blink of an eye takes between 100 and 400 milliseconds. So your brain can identify and process multiple images in the time it takes you to blink just once. This is why you can instantly recognize a friend in a crowd, or immediately spot danger, like a car swerving towards you. Your brain's visual processing system is working at a speed that is almost instantaneous, analyzing shapes, colors, and patterns before you are even consciously aware of it. That's faster than a blink of an eye. Here's a paradox for you. The brain is the organ that processes all the pain signals from your entire body. If you stub your toe, it's your brain that creates the sensation of pain you feel in your foot. If you touch a hot stove, it's your brain that screams, "Ouch!" Yet the brain itself has no pain receptors. It cannot feel pain. This is a fundamental and honestly pretty bizarre truth of our biology. The squishy 3-pound organ that is the master interpreter of all our aches and pains is completely numb to its own suffering. This is why neurosurgeons can perform what's called awake craniotomy, a type of brain surgery where the patient is kept conscious. Surgeons can cut, probe, and operate directly on the brain tissue without causing the patient any physical pain. They do this so the patient can respond to questions and perform tasks, allowing the surgeons to map out critical areas like speech and motor function in real time to avoid damaging them. It's a strange thought, isn't it? The source of all your pain can't feel a thing. Ever wondered why brain surgery can be done while you're awake? Your brain is split into two distinct halves, or hemispheres, the left and the right. They look pretty symmetrical, but, they have specialized functions and a very peculiar way of controlling your body. Everything is crossed over. The left hemisphere of your brain controls the muscles on the right side of your body, and the right hemisphere of your brain controls the muscles on the left side of your body. This principle is called contralateral control, and it's a fundamental aspect of our nervous system. So, like when you pick up your coffee mug with your right hand, that action was actually initiated by the left side of your brain. When you take a step with your left foot, that's your right brain at work. The sensory information is crossed over too. A touch on your left arm is processed by the right side of your brain. Scientists are still debating the evolutionary reasons for this strange wiring, but it's just how we're all built. It's a perfect built-in system of opposites working together in harmony. So, your left brain is making your right hand wave hello right now. Here's a fact that might sound a little alarming at first. As we get older, our brains actually shrink. It's a natural part of the aging process. After about the age of 40, the brain begins to decrease in volume by about 5% per decade, with the rate of shrinkage potentially increasing once you get past 70. This happens for a number of reasons, including neurons shrinking, the connections between them being reduced, and a decrease in the protective myelin sheath that surrounds them. It sounds like bad news, like we're slowly losing our minds. But it's not as scary as it sounds. While the physical size might decrease, a healthy aging brain is incredibly resilient and adaptive. It can form new connections and pathways, a process called neuroplasticity, to compensate for these changes. Older brains are often better at seeing the big picture, regulating emotions, and making complex decisions based on a lifetime of experience. So while your brain might be getting a little smaller over the years, it's also getting wiser. But don't worry, wisdom doesn't take up much space. When we think of fat in our bodies, we usually think of it as something we want to get rid of. We associate it with our stomachs or thighs, not with our most intelligent organ. But get this, your brain is the fattiest organ in your entire body. Excluding water, your brain is composed of nearly 60% fat. This isn't the same kind of fat that you find in a cheeseburger, though. It's made of special, essential fatty acids like DHA, which are absolutely critical for your brain's structure and function. These fats are a fundamental building block for your brain cells. They make up the cell membranes and the myelin sheath that insulates your neurons, allowing electrical signals to travel quickly and efficiently. Without this high-fat content, your brain simply couldn't work properly. It's why diets rich in healthy fats, like those found in fish, nuts, and avocados, are so important for cognitive health. So, the next time someone calls you a fathead, you can just take it as a compliment to your well-structured, high-performance brain. Talk about a real fat head! And there you have it! 10 facts that prove the brain is the most amazing, weird, and powerful object in the known universe, and you've got one right inside your own skull. From being a super efficient energy hog and an unreliable storyteller, to generating its own electricity and being made mostly of fat, our brains are full of surprises. It's humbling to realize that this 3-pound lump of tissue is responsible for every thought, every emotion, and every experience we'll ever have. It constructs our entire reality, and we're still just beginning to understand how it pulls it off. I hope this gave you a new appreciation for what's going on upstairs. The next time you learn something new, remember a fond memory, or even just dream at night, you'll have a better idea of the incredible biological machinery at work. The science of the brain is a frontier that we're all exploring together, and every new discovery just makes it seem even more magical and complex. It really is the ultimate engineering project, sculpted by millions of years of evolution. So, I have to ask, which of these facts surprised you the most? Was it that your brain is more active when you're asleep, or that it can't feel any pain? Let me know your favorite one in the comments section below. I'd love to read what blew your mind. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more videos that break down the amazing science of our world, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.